Is Jordan Pickford taking the goal kick?
He played out to Maguire there.
That's into Trent Alexander-Arnold, who actually takes someone on.
He's crossed it into Kane here,
Kane has fallen over again.
but it's led Saka on the right. He's got the ball.
Saka puts the ball in.
And there's Ben Mee arriving at the back post.
Scorpion kick!
Ben Mee has fucking scored.
Ben Mee. We are joined by a guest today on the Bottle Job podcast.
We've got Olivia,
Yes, hi.
or Liv,
Liv,
whatever you prefer. Liv.
yeah.
Okay, I've been corrected. But yeah,
Sports presenter, working for the Chelsea, up the Chelsea,
exactly. Up the Chelsea.
up the
everybody's in.
Chelsea. Working for the Premier League as well. We're joined by royalty right now.
Not quite sure you can call me royalty. but-
Let's go with it.
Okay, we'll go with it. Yeah,
Let's go with
royalty.
it.
Yes.
First guest in the flesh on the
Exactly.
Bottle Job podcast.
Privileged.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why there's been so many technical difficulties, because you've actually been our first in-person guest. So usually before the show we order something. So today it might be a Wingstop day because, everything works in a synergy. In our first ever podcast, we ordered Wingstop and we were analysing Group A. Today we're analysing the last group, so you might as well come back.
I
full
like
circle.
that full circle.
I just
Good with
thought of
me.
that. I just thought of that.
It's good off the dome.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
The-
I hope you haven't
whoa,
given me
We're
anything
breaking
spicy.
I'm breaking the fourth
No,
wall there.
don't
but-
worry. It's not spicy at all.
thank you.
In brackets, it says mild.
Yeah, that's
so,
me.
Okay.
Yeah, mild.
Okay, guys, this is the Bottle Job podcast. My name is Rimedi.
I'm Toby.
Like we mentioned to you, we are joined by Liv. Come on, say hi to the camera.
I'm Liv. Hi.
Anyway, okay, so in the show, we usually analyze groups A to H, and today we're finally on Group H. So we have a few different mechanics on the show. We have 20-second vision. No,
You've remixed it.
I've
there.
remixed it. We have 20-second vision where we have to analyze a fixture's future in under 20 seconds. Is that how you do it?
More or less. mate.
Ah, okay,
You
okay.
just got to freestyle it anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, you got 99 potential where, analysing a kid going from a kid to a goat. That was more or less.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
repeat
that's
kid
how
a
I
few
do it.
times.
That's how I
but-
do it. And we have Avid, the section of the podcast where we have a very controversial take, but we try not to get cancelled. We have been cancelled so far.
Yeah, I'm not being cancelled. I can't.
No, it's okay.
Well, I might be.
But you might want to join in because we are apparently the anti-Spurs podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a bad place
To be
be.
fair, if you get cancelled, there's no point. Like, you might as well get cancelled over Spurs.
But someone who did almost get cancelled, not really because he can't really be, but he went on Piers Morgan's show. We've got the group H with Ronaldo in it, Portugal. What did everyone think of how that went?
Shook. Head gone. Just couldn't. And I know he said, like, at the start, didn't he? He said, like, it's all going to be revealed at this time on this date. But I just thought it was an absolute madness.
Yeah.
Like, I can't comprehend. Like, he actually came out and did it at a time as well. Obviously, I don't know when it was actually filmed.
It seems like last week.
It was
what they've
last
said,
week.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Filmed last week, and I obviously the whole Bruno Ronaldo thing, the awkwardness.
Yeah, Cancelo as well
It
in
did
training,
look a
didn't it?
little bit awkward,
Yeah.
didn't it?
Yeah, it was odd.
So basically, this podcast is coming out on Friday. So by the time it comes out, the whole interview has been aired.
Yeah.
So we're just going to make up things that Ronaldo said. Ronaldo said he wanted to kill Piers Morgan. No, so-
I hope so. Well, no.
I think he's joined the long list of people that do actually want to do that.
So we don't actually know what's actually going to be said because
And like
we're
so
recording.
much of it has been released though already. Like, what more can Ronaldo have actually said that's
Well, I
going
don't
to
know what he
make
could say
people
that
go like,
saves
"Oh my
it.
god," anymore?
Yeah, I don't know what he could say that isn't uncovered that saves the interview. It's
No,
just such a
nothing.
train
Nothing,
wreck at the moment.
nothing
Yeah.
saves the
Yeah.
interview. I don't think.
So on Monday, the part that was released was that he felt disrespected by the manager.
And doesn't respect him. Yeah.
Doesn't respect the manager. Looked at Ralph Rangnick and said, "Who are you, bro?" Like he didn't know who he was. And then yesterday he came out on the Glazers, so now he's back in the fans' good books.
He's in the good books, tomorrow will be in the bad books.
So we don't know what's going on. So yeah, it was such an explosive statement. But do you guys think there's any way back for Cristiano Ronaldo?
Not there.
No.
I think this was engineered to get that contract ripped up, to be honest.
But then, can you just rip up the contract?
Well, they did it with Aubameyang, didn't they, in January?
If it's like a
Arsenal.
mutually agreed thing, then
Maybe,
they might
yeah.
be able to. But like in the summer, Ronaldo obviously said he wanted to leave or whatever. But then, did anyone actually come in for him?
no.
Which,
Well-
when you think about it, it's like it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
still I know he's obviously not as good as he once was,
It's
but
a
it's still
marketing
Cristiano
ploy.
Ronaldo. Tell you what, wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea go and buy him.
That's exactly what I said. I thought I was looking at him the other day when he was playing. I was thinking, God, he looks cooked.
Sorry, this has got Todd Bowley written all over it. Just Chelsea at the moment as well. Like you
Yeah.
could just imagine that signing in January, Chelsea have signed Ronaldo.
Another
So
Lukaku
wasn't like
interview.
I don't know. You guys are Chelsea fans. I'm not. So I'm going off what the news is saying. Wasn't Tuchel sacked because he didn't want Ronaldo to?
I don't know if it's because of that, but
part of the problem maybe.
yeah, it goes to show how good a manager he was that he saw at the time. He was like, I don't want him.
It's interesting though because like Graham Potter, obviously we know that Tuchel very much wasn't a yes man, and perhaps one of the reasons why Graham Potter was brought in because the owners thought he might be that. But what if Potter doesn't want him?
Probably doesn't.
And then but like, is Potter going to turn around and be like, no, I don't want Ronaldo? Like, you just don't know. So then
I'll be honest, Liv. If Potter says I want Ronaldo, I'm a bit worried about.
But then I'm like, Potter won't want Ronaldo, will he?
No, exactly. I like to think he sees it. He sees.
But then if Bowley wants Ronaldo, then Chelsea are going to sign him.
Yeah. So you guys are going to have Aubameyang
and Ronaldo and Lukaku coming back in the summer. What a front three!
That is unbelievable. Lukaku off the right,
what is happening
Aubameyang
to
off
my
the
club?
left. That is.
Could you have imagined, like when we won the Champions League literally a year and a half ago, that fast forward we would have Ronaldo, Lukaku, and Aubameyang as our front three?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's actually going to happen.
And be moaning.
If this was 2016, it would be a world class front line.
It goes back. It's like over the last 10 years, we've had Pato, Higuain, Falcao, Torres, Drogba. If you told me Drogba and Costa work out, the rest of them not so much, I'd have been pretty shocked.
Yeah,
100%. But yeah, touching on the group, we have Portugal, we have South Korea, we have Ghana, and we have
Uruguay.
Yeah.
Yes,
my
counted
dark horses for this World Cup.
My dark horses. Well, not dark. I don't think they're going to probably go and win it, but I do think they'll get quite far. Uruguay.
They're tough.
I think the way the draw works out, they could potentially play Serbia, couldn't they, in the round of 16, which then means they're through to the quarters. And I think.
Well, that's assuming they beat Serbia.
Yeah, it's in what? Yeah, but I mean, I would probably back them to beat Serbia.
Yeah, it's true. But I think we started on Ronaldo, so we'll continue with the Portuguese.
Yeah.
I think Portugal, if you look at man for man their squad, I think their team is unreal. Like,
does Ronaldo get in your Portugal team?
Absolutely. Ronaldo FC stand up. I am a Ronaldo fanboy. All right, that is great for TikTok. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think he gets in either.
But he does. I don't think he would get like if like us three were picking our Portugal teams, he wouldn't get in. But he's going to start every game at the World Cup.
If Jota was fit, though, would he?
Yeah.
You still think he would?
No,
I just
Ronaldo
don't think those Portugal managers have got much of a say, to be honest. Whatever Ronaldo says goes.
Yeah, like Ronaldo's already, his place at Euro 2024 has already been confirmed.
God, he's going to be playing at the next World Cup and everything, isn't he?
No, apparently in the interview with Piers Morgan, he said he's going to retire at 40. So that is 2025.
Okay.
So after the Euros.
Yeah, after the Euros. So we don't know what's going to happen.
I wonder if Portugal are going to fluke their way to another Euros. Hopefully not.
Well, if they do what they did in the final and take him off early, they got a chance. Yeah, I said it, all right? All right, he did nothing. A fly landed on his face and he
second
went
best
off.
player of all time.
Hey.
Second best player of all time.
Some people might
There's
dispute
no
that.
shame in
Some
that.
people might dispute
No one can dispute that.
some people call him third.
Oh yeah.
I've heard, and it might have been me as the source. He's not even the best Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Some might say that.
Would agree.
Some might. I didn't.
Well,
say
not
that.
actually would
Someone
agree,
might say
but
it.
people do say it.
Hey man, these guys are going in for Ronaldo. I'm going to be the only one fighting his corner.
I do actually like Ronaldo. However, you said they got an unreal team.
Yeah.
I think they might not like. I don't want to call them flops of the tournament, but I just am not sure they're actually gonna do anything in this World Cup.
Yeah, the problem is the manager. The manager is like a dinosaur. He plays such Brexit football. It's diabolical.
Cross it to Ronnie.
Yeah, all like.
But you've all of those good players around him.
You got Bernardo. Bernardo Silva's one of the best players in the league.
You've got Leao now of AC Milan.
Yeah.
And he's not going to come up against many right backs as good as Reece James.
I thought
and he actually gave in that first half.
He went past him two or three times. I thought no one does that, so fair play.
Yeah. But then afterwards, he then went in his back pocket. But
that's standard. Reece James.
he's class, Leao.
Yeah,
they've actually got on paper they got a good team.
João Cancelo,
Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Dias.
Yeah, that's the.
They got great pronunciations going on. We got Mateus Nunes.
Yes,
who
Mateus Nunes
swallows up ground.
Yes, Ruben Neves as well. Great. They've got an unbelievable team, and someone up to the level of Renato Sanchez was actually left out of the team. So that's how good the Portuguese team is. But what they have is a lot of young players coming into the team. And this leads us on perfectly to my 99 potential.
Are we matching today again? 99 potential is our version of FIFA Journeys, but, well, good.
The scout section is where we identify young players who've had a rocky road to Qatar, but they will go from kid to GOAT. All right, so my 99 potential is actually Antonio Silva. So we all know that Benfica are having an unbelievable season so far, doing really well in the Champions League and going. I think they're having a great record in the Portuguese league. And if I was to compare him to he's a centre back, and if I was to compare him to someone, it'll be Ruben Dias, one of the players that came from Benfica, and Antonio Silva is one of those defenders. The best way I can describe it is Ruben Dias and a proper hard English defender. Like one of those
Bit
defenders.
of Brexit, like
Bit
the
of
manager
Brex-
likes.
Yeah, but can also
Fits right
play on
in.
the ball. Exactly. But can also play and can also progress the ball. And he's just turned 19 and he's going to be almost starting for the Portuguese national team, which is
impressive.
unbelievable.
impressive.
And
Ahead
on the
of-
other end of the spectrum, you've got Pepe competing
Exactly.
with those players.
Exactly.
that guy.
Pepe's still knocking around. He's in that
How?
squad.
How is he? He's in that. How is
Yeah.
he still
Just
knocking
pure
around?
aggression.
Yeah.
Got to be.
Yeah, I think he's 39 now, which is crazy.
Some people are still doing it at 39.
He's got hair
Love it
these
so.
days. Isn't
Oh, okay.
Oh, you were looking at me like, who are you
I
going
was
to
like,
say
who's
then?
gonna-
Who's still doing it at 39? Yeah, only Thiago Silva.
Okay. But yeah, Antonio Silva, like he's having a great season and he's been linked with Man United. He's been linked with all the big teams in Europe. And I think he's going to get his big move very, very soon, like Ruben Diaz did to Man City for 50, 60, 70 million pounds. And you could really see, defenders that have that leadership, those are the defenders that I love. And you could really see it with him. He's got like an unbelievable ping on him. He could progress the ball. He could dribble. But when the going gets tough, he will be there to defend properly. Not like these new age centre-backs. Get me back to 1990s. Defenders defend. Attackers attack. Word to Fabian Delph.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like a good player. I'm looking forward to watching him.
Yeah, who's yours?
Yeah, mine, different former Portugueser and a rival of your man. I've gone with Diogo Costa, not Diego Costa, the striker. Diogo Costa, the goalkeeper, plays for Porto. I mean, we say 99 potential as if they're really young. He is young in my eyes. He's 23. I'm
That's
a bit
not
older than
young.
that. So that is young, right? That is young.
He's older than me. Yeah.
Yeah, I
older than
mean,
me.
he's younger than me, so he's young, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he's younger than me as well.
But
definitely.
he has been some keeper. I mean, he broke out properly last year for Porto, doing really well. But this year, he's getting links to Manchester United at the moment. I think Chelsea should have an eye on him. I think quite a lot of clubs should have an eye on him because he looks a ridiculous prospect. Very good on the ball, the perfect modern keeper. 6'4", can claim crosses, doesn't just stay rooted to his line, and he sets records. This man this season, he was the first goalkeeper to get an assist, a penalty save, and a clean sheet in a Champions League game ever. He was the first man. Then, the next game, saves 2 penalties in the same game, making him the first ever Champions League keeper to save 3 in a row. So he's just tearing through record books, this boy. And he's going to be tearing through transfer record books, I imagine, for a goalkeeper in the summer. He looks like some player.
Hey, I've heard a lot of good things about Diogo Costa. Like if you're on Twitter, some people have like waxed lyrical about this guy. They've said he's the new Alisson, he's the new Edison. He's just the new Diogo Costa. I just think he's an unbelievable goalkeeper. And yeah, what team needs to keep him? Maybe Man United, maybe. But he's just signed a contract to like 2027.
Yeah, with a 60 million release clause. So
That's nothing though nowadays, is it?
we paid 70 for Kepa, didn't we?
Listen, Kepa's been great this season.
This season's been awesome.
absolutely worth 70 million.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah. So, Diogo Costa could be a Man United goalkeeper very soon because or Chelsea, who knows? Because they both
Could be Spurs, could be anyone.
Could be
Go
anyone.
for him, yeah.
Really, anyone other than City and Liverpool.
Yeah, pretty much.
You really look at.
You're going to back your boy?
Aaron
You're
Ramsdale too. That one Arsenal.
Yeah, or him.
But yeah, but if you were to look at Portugal like as a whole, how do you think they're going to do this tournament?
I don't.
They'd be up there with the flops of the tournament if I was to have a guess, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word flop because I don't know.
Considering the squad quality,
That's
though,
what I
you'd
mean.
expect
Like
more,
you
wouldn't
look at their team on paper and you just think that should be unbelievable when you think of all the players they've got. But I don't know if this Ronaldo thing is going to have upset anyone. Is it going to have upset Bruno Fernandes? I'm not saying that it will have, but that encounter did look a little bit weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't like your usual encounter when you meet up on international duty ahead of a World Cup.
There was actually I was reading that was actually a joke. So
It didn't look like a joke.
it didn't look like one.
Good
but
acting, it is.
I know. So Bruno came in late, and Ronaldo was looking at him and was like, "Why the hell why are you so late? Like, did you come by boat?" And Bruno was like,
I saw
Do you
João
believe that?
João Mario came out.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know. Innit?
Bruno
Is
gets
it to try and like chill? Because everyone at the moment is talking about Ronaldo and talking about Portugal. Is it maybe to try and like, is he saying that maybe just to try and everyone to be like, no, it's
pressure off.
fine.
Could
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
It could be. But who knows? I think, look, on paper, Portugal, I think as a whole, I think they might have the most quality out of every team barring Brazil.
Wow,
But
really?
I think so.
France?
No, they're better. Like on
On
man for-
paper, like, as
yeah,
in, like,
on
man for
paper.
man, yeah.
Yeah, only Brazil better them, but because of their manager, I'm sorry, Portuguese fans, you guys are maximum getting to the quarterfinal.
Yeah, I think their highlight will be Ronaldo will score, and that makes him the first player to ever score at 5 World Cups. And yes, I've used that for a clip. Completely.
Exactly. Okay, so moving on. I know that they also faced each other at the 2018 World Cup. Uruguay.
Some team.
Yes.
I quite like the look of Uruguay.
Yes, they have a great team. What do you guys think about their team? Like, obviously, aging players, young players coming through. Tell me about the team.
I think it's a good mix.
Yeah.
I think you always need, don't you? You always need like good experienced players at a World Cup, like a blend. And that's what, when we talk about England, that's what England have. And I think their squad is just got the right mix of both of those sorts of players. And their attack, I know you've got the likes of Luis Suarez and Edinson Cavani that are going again, but you're probably going to be relying more on Darwin, aren't you? Who's actually, given all the stick he's had, he was actually playing well, wasn't he?
What do you guys think of Darwin Nunez?
I think he's box office. I absolutely.
He's chaos.
He's a nutcase. He's an absolute nutcase. When I watch him, I've got no idea what he's going to do next.
No. I think when he gets the ball, I expect him now to just fall over it.
Or
I think
just
when he doesn't
like-
have to think, he's good. Like first time headers, just sort of making a run.
There's
But when
a
he's
few
dribbling
players
with the
like
ball,
that. You're just like, what? And it
he's
must
got a bit of Timo about him, in my opinion. I love Timo, but you didn't really know what Timo was.
unpredictable.
Look at these Chelsea fans.
Oh, we just
my
bringing
God.
Chelsea into
Oh my
everything.
God.
We can't help it. We can't help it. I get that, and it must be so hard for like a defender to defend against Darwin, because if Darwin doesn't know what he's going to do next, how on earth is any defender meant to know?
I know.
What he's going. But I think he's really exciting, and I think he's got a lot of stick, especially after obviously that headbutt and that red card. But I've really enjoyed watching him.
I think Darwin is unbelievably good. Like, this guy will cause problems to anyone. He will run in behind, he will hold up the ball. He might miss a chance here and there, but he will create 7 for himself just by his movement. Like, although Liverpool have not been at their best this season, Liverpool, like, they've not been feeding him in the way that Darwin should be fed. Wow, that's
Actually, they have. No, I would disagree with that.
Okay.
They've definitely created chances for him, because especially at the start of his career,
that's true.
he was missing a lot of sitters.
You have a
However, now he's obviously putting them away, and he's actually got into quite good form. I think Liverpool probably would have preferred this World Cup to have not happened because of all the injuries and how well he was playing. But it's Uruguay's advantage now. If he can continue that, then...
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to feed him chances. And someone who does need to be fed is obviously Luis Suarez. So he's playing at this World Cup,
Wow,
probably
you
his last.
planned that really well. That was a good
I did, man. I was sitting in my head, I was like, I'm going to have to come in at some point. But he is a bit cooked these days. He's out playing in Uruguay. Just won the league, though, there, isn't he? Legend of the game. I think he starts ahead of Cavani at this point.
Is it either or? You can't start both of them, surely.
Yeah, I think Cavani is going to have to hold the... Look, I don't watch a lot of Uruguay, so I cannot actually say who starts or who's benched. But yeah, it's looking like you need Suarez to maybe hold up the ball.
Alongside Darwin.
Yes.
Just Darwin and one of those two.
And just those antics, like win a pen or something like that.
I mean, I feel like Darwin fits right in with that Uruguay squad as well.
He's perfect.
And obviously they face Ghana again, and we all know what happened with Luis Suarez and Ghana, and it's just there's a lot of stories, isn't there, involving Uruguay.
Absolutely. And
I think Darwin fits right in.
And we're probably seeing one of the best midfielders in the world right now. It's Fede Valverde.
We've touched on Swiss Army knives of players before, and he is that, isn't he?
I think Fede Valverde. So I was in Madrid to watch Atletico versus Real Madrid, and oh my God, the way that this guy covers ground is ridiculous. Fede Valverde, he's
How old is he? Young, isn't he?
23, 24. Baby Steven Gerrard. He is all over the
That's a
pitch.
big shout.
But the problem is at Real Madrid right now, because like Kroos and Modric are just still bossing it.
Still doing it.
At the age of like 30 plus.
70 between them, pretty
Exactly.
much. More than that.
Fede just has to play on the right back, right midfielder, right winger, right player, right everything. He's just the right. And Fede Valverde for Uruguay, he probably has more responsibility, because if you look at everyone, I think he's probably the best player that they have. And I just think, like, in big moments, he'll come up with a crazy shot. But speaking of crazy shots...
He's got a banger in the locker, hasn't he?
He has got a banger in the locker. But did you guys see last week against Rayo Vallecano? Fede Valverde hit a shot, and the shot ballooned over the bar, ballooned over the stadium, and hit someone in their kitchen.
That's impressive. Very impressive.
I couldn't believe it. The shot was so high that a guy was making eggs in the kitchen and it hit him. I couldn't believe it. So he's got a lot of power on his shots. But yeah, Fede Valverde, he's unreal.
Yeah, and he was a Champions League winner, and he has a midfield partner that isn't that much of a winner, or the club that he's at, in Bentancur. He's at Spurs, and we hate Spurs on here.
We hate Spurs, but also, like, he's
a good player.
He's been bailing them out the last few weeks. He's been loving a 90th minute winner, hasn't he?
Sorry, I'm just seeing where the food is. Continue.
Yeah, no, Bentancur just it seems like they've had an absolute bargain there with Kulusevski and him from Juventus. I mean, what they're doing handing those two out, I don't really know. But
especially when Juventus have been really poor.
Crap, yeah.
How have they
Yeah,
given
exactly.
two of their whatever, two of those players is mental.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great partner for Valverde. He looks like a top player for Spurs. Shame to see, really, to be honest.
No, I'm going to give Bentancur his flowers, man. I've called Romero overrated on this podcast. I've slated Harry Kane on this podcast. We've slated Hugo Lloris on this podcast.
And we got some Son slander for later anyway. Well, I've got some booked in anyway.
But I will give Rodrigo Bentancur his flowers. I think he, for Spurs this season, in the big moments, is where you find your real players. And Bentancur, he's turned up for Spurs. You cannot hate on a guy that does that.
He started slowly as well, didn't he? And that's what's been, I think, more impressive. It obviously takes time, doesn't it? And he's just did take him a little bit of time, and everyone was questioning because everyone was talking about Spurs like winning the transfer window,
Yeah, that was
weren't
funny,
they? And
wasn't
obviously
it?
the way
That was
they've been
funny.
playing under that was the way they've been playing under Conte has just been so like. But Bentancur has been one of the standouts in midfield, I think, and
100%.
it's been class.
Another standout that they have at centre back, rushing his way back into fitness, is Ronald Araujo. Playing for Barcelona. He again, if warrior, puts his heart on the line, body on the line for every single challenge.
Learned from the best,
Godin,
Diego Godin,
yeah.
who is also, I think, he's been called up
Yes,
as well.
he
So
has.
there's not many better to learn from, to be honest.
Absolutely. And Ronald Araujo. Sorry, I tried
I
to...
like that. No, it's good
good. I feel a bit saucy.
pronunciation. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a player for Barcelona that they can rely upon for years to come. I think
He's about the only one.
they've got a couple. They've got a
They got
couple.
Marcus Alonso.
Yeah.
Legend.
Hector Bellerin as well, unbelievable player. But no, Araujo, he's one of the players that he is a great centre back. And as Barcelona are moving forward, they need to build their defence around him.
Yeah, and someone they do have in defence. I don't know how he's in the squad still because I didn't rate him when he was in the Premier League. But Sebastian Coates. I don't know if you remember, he scored one of the most underrated goals in Premier League history with that sort of scissor kick away at QPR.
Yes.
But I've used that for a link to Jordan Ayew, who's in the Ghana squad, because that is one of the most underrated Premier League goals of all time against Palace. Not against Palace.
Against
He plays for
Palace.
Against West Ham in the last minute. I think that might be the most.
Oh, the one where he
underrated
runs
Premier
it
League
round everyone.
Yeah, he does a roulette,
That was
links
like
the
last
keeper,
season, no?
last minute. It might
last
have been the
season,
season
maybe
before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Unbelievable.
But
Did
yeah.
not know he had that in his locker. I'm not
No,
going to lie.
no, he's never done anything since really.
No, he hasn't.
Works hard, but not the best.
He's
player.
one of those, and he's a Timo. He works hard. And we go, oh, he's great. He works
I've
hard.
spoken to a lot of Ghanaians. They hate the sight of Jordan.
So do Palace fans.
They
My mate's a
hate
Palace.
the sights of Jordan Ayew. They question why this guy is even in the squad. They question why this guy is even
Bit
in
of
the job.
nepotism.
It might be because his dad is a Benny Pele. The Ayew brothers for Ghana, they are somehow there. Andre Ayew,
Every single tournament.
he's just there. I do not understand how.
It's funny how Palace fans literally see it the same as well. Like they're just sick and tired of the sight of him.
Unbelievable, but you know,
You've got to, like, it's not, like, you've got to, surely, managers have got to see, like, what are they
It's work
seeing
rate.
him?
It's pure work rate.
Pure work.
It's-
You've got to have those like players in your team that are there purely for that, to be honest. And
just
yeah,
vibes
that's
and
it.
hard work.
Vibes, yeah.
But they got some good options, Ghana. They got Inaki Williams, who just switched to
And
Ghana.
Tarek Lamptey's just switched.
Yeah,
as well.
he switched.
They've also got Kamadi Suleimana, who plays for Rennes as well. They've
Thomas
got
Partey, who
he's
by
been
the way,
Top player for you guys.
yeah, just this season, like, he's got to another level. Like, I think he would be in most people's Premier League team of the season so far. Him or Xhaka, to be honest, either one of them. But I've been really impressed with Thomas Partey.
Yeah, man. I think I was speaking about this guy last season. Everybody called me a deluded Arsenal fan.
I mean, you probably were.
I probably was, but you know, there's a border between delusion and genius. I don't know which side I sit on.
Ahead of the curve.
I'm going to go delusional.
No, but I was calling Thomas Partey one of the best midfielders in the league last season. And you really saw...
Was he, though, last season?
I think what you needed to see was if you took him out of Arsenal, that's when we struggled.
Well, his record for when he's out the side compared
It's
to when he's in it
horrible.
is like just drastic.
With Thomas Partey playing for Arsenal in the Premier League, we have won 75% of our games.
Actually, yeah, right now with you guys doing quite well, if you could pick one player to not get an injury, would it be him ahead of Saliba and Jesus?
Please him, please.
Nah, it's
Really
got to be
be him?
Saliba. Oh, I suppose Ben White could
I
probably.
think it's Thomas Partey.
Really?
Our team just suffers when he's not playing. The way he tracks runs, the way he progresses the ball, the way he's able to turn out. And look, I have some reservations about him because there'll be times where you need to take the sting out of the game and Thomas Partey is still going full throttle. And sometimes you just don't need that. That's why I think Rodri... Oh, wait, I think the food is here. Let's cut to Jeff on the touchline.
Is Cristiano Ronaldo the greatest player of all time? No.
Ta-da! Our food has arrived. Hey, Wingstop, if you're watching this, hey man, we're not far. We're not far from you guys. You got to sponsor us. But listen, that.
He looks a lot like
Yeah.
Louis. He looks a lot like our producer.
Yeah, but I was just speaking of Thomas Partey. I think he's a great player. Hopefully he doesn't get injured, because if he does, our season is finished. At Arsenal.
Big shout.
Genuinely.
I think no.
Genuinely.
Yeah, I
I'm just
think
sort
I'm
of
going to
dreaming about the
struggle.
idea of him getting
yeah,
an injury.
I think,
I'm not gonna
I think
lie.
you're going to struggle after the World Cup anyway. To be honest.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know. I just think you will. I do think, like, as well as you've been playing, I think City. I just think when it gets to the latter stages, they're just a bit more equipped to be in competitions and to.
Yeah, 100%. But
If Thomas Partey gets injured, then you're definitely done.
100%. But right now, I'm just enjoying it. We're 5 points clear, and I cannot complain. Also, touching on the Ghanaian defense, they've got Salisu and now Tariq Lamptey. What do you guys think of them in the Premier League?
I love Tariq Lamptey. Like, I'm Chelsea's right backs. Like, we at one point had like all of the best right backs.
Livramento
Yeah,
as
and
well.
now Reece James got injured and we've got no one. And Tariq Lamptey's the one that he'll play for a big six club at some point. This could be the tournament if he plays at right back. We all know how good he is. His injuries have been
That seems to be the constant, because he doesn't even Brighton
Chelsea
don't seem
right
to
backs
risk.
and injuries.
Yeah, it's
It's the same for all of
the
them.
history. But we have, with Lamptey, that's the only thing that holds him back a bit. Even Brighton seem to not always start him. Like, there's a bit of worry there, isn't there?
There is definitely. Like, he might bring him on or play him for 60 or bring him on for half an hour.
I hope he
but
just doesn't lose that pace, because that.
I don't think he ever will. I don't think he will.
No, he got
He's
wheels.
so quick.
But that his debut against Arsenal, I
was
remember.
gonna mention
when he
that.
came on, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he killed us that game, because that was Arteta's first home game.
Yeah.
In the first half, I was like, "Oh my god, we're playing so well. We're playing Chelsea off the park." And then I just see Tariq Lamptey come off the bench, and he's just running the show from right back. And I'm like, "Well, who's this guy? Like, where did he come from?"
Who's this little guy?
Yeah, he's
Like,
running around.
Like he's actually like, you think he's small, but he is small. But for the size he is, he's unbelievable.
You can't barge him off the ball. He's so his balance is immense.
Little mini Reece James.
Yeah, absolutely. But did you guys know
back.
that Ghana are actually the lowest ranked team heading into the World Cup?
That's mad.
That's a
really.
great stat.
I did my work.
That's why. That's why we're here.
When you think of like the teams that are in it,
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're the worst in the group. Personally, I mean, that's maybe a bit cringy, but
Okay. I think that is perfect time for us to move on to the next team in our group,
we've
South
got
Korea.
South Korea.
So South Korea the worst team in the group.
In my opinion, yeah, I think as bad as an AFCON as Ghana had, South Korea, they're in poor form. I tell you who is in poor form, Heung-min Son. I think
He
this
came back for
season
that
has
like
been-
one game, didn't he? Where he came off the bench, scored a hat trick,
He's not
and then
fooling
since
me.
then
Liv.
he's
He's not fooling me. One little hat trick, Son. No, he does
Grow up.
nothing. Yeah, exactly. Grow up. Spurs' best front three this season is undoubtedly Kane, Richarlison, and Kulusevski.
But
I don't think that's unfair to say.
no, it's not fair to say, and you're probably right. But you just Son's so good when Son's on his day. He's so good.
We have on his day players a lot on here. We want some consistency, Liv.
He has been over the years.
Yeah, definitely.
He's been consistent.
And it's
Maybe
over. It's all over.
done.
To be fair, I can't hate on a guy who won a golden boot, but
And no pens.
exactly.
But I can
Won a
hate on a
golden
guy
boot.
that shared one. And him and Son didn't really win a goal. He shared a golden boot.
No,
That's so harsh.
nah. But look, did you guys know that before last season, Son was almost classed as like a purple patch player? There'll be 2 points in the season where he turns up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So at the start, I planned it all out. November to December, he will score 9 goals in like 5 games. April, the month of April, Heung-min Son, every April he goes on a
when
tear.
Harry Kane's injured.
Yes, he goes on a tear. He will score 12 goals in 4 games. And altogether, that's a 17-goal season, and no one's complaining.
Doesn't need to do anything else in the
No,
other
he does
10
add a
months.
lot with no penalties as well. He's a great finisher, Son.
He's carrying the weight of South Korea on his shoulders.
He is, and it's too big a weight, I think, this
Yeah.
one.
I've got a hot take about Heung-min Son.
I want to hear
No,
it.
he's not going to win the Golden Boot or something, is he?
I think Heung-min Son is one of the best Premier League finishers of all time. If not the
Percentage-wise,
best.
yeah,
if not the best.
The best.
I think
When
Heung-min
you
Son.
think of like Thierry Henry,
Heung-min
you're an
Son-
Arsenal fan.
Hey, I have to be.
Thierry Henry finisher.
I have to speak
I'm
facts.
saying Son's a
If we go off the data, if we go off the numbers, Heung-min Son is one of the statistically best finishers that the Premier League has ever
I like
seen.
I like judging football when I watch them.
Absolutely, but that's why I'm trying to give like a different side, because you guys are just hating on Son. I'm trying to.
No,
I'm trying to-
I
Yeah.
actually
You're
I
giving us
haven't
some
been hating on
numbers.
Son. Toby's been hating on Son.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But
You're
I have to
giving
stick-
I like
people
him
the
in
numbers.
Son.
Yeah.
I do like him. I mean, he got sent off against us a few years ago. That was good. But I agree. He is a player, I feel, who does play in flurries. I think he's a really good player and his finishing is excellent. In a one-on-one, there's not many players you'd back ahead of him.
Absolutely.
Like you said, even statistically, I saw he's ahead of Salah last season, and Salah was putting goals away for fun.
He's ahead of like almost every other player. Like he's outperforming his XG by 40. He scored 40
insane.
more goals than he should have, which is a ridiculous stat to have. So yeah, Heung-min Son, you're one of the best finishers the Premier League has ever seen. But unfortunately for South Korea, he might be injured as well.
And
because of
also,
his-
I feel like
his one eye.
yeah,
he really does well. That Kane relationship he has is so excellent, where Kane usually is
They-
the guy playing him in.
They are how have we got to a point? It just baffles me. When you think of like all the iconic strike partnerships in Premier League history, that Harry Kane and Heung-min Son are the most
potent.
And
in the
also,
Premier League history.
How are we letting such two great players win absolutely fuck all? How are we allowing that? How are we allowing
Oh
that
man,
to
you're really
happen?
taking this anti-Spurs gimmick. To
Yeah,
another
I'm
level.
living
Don't
up
involve
to
me
it
in
now.
this. I'm not involved in this.
I'm making you look better by me.
I know. But yeah, I think the problem is with Son, like in this tournament, like I was hearing when he got injured, he would be out for 6 weeks. And like even playing with an eye patch or playing with like the mask on, it's going to be tough for him to really excel at the levels that he should.
Do you think he'll start in their first game?
I don't think so. But to be fair, they are playing the first game later than everyone else's. Like because they are
They're
Group
Group H, they're last.
So
Yeah.
we don't know. But it's looking big man ting, yeah. It's not looking good, bro.
Not looking good, bruv. But they have got a good defender, someone who's really come to the light this season in Kim at Napoli. They've been fantastic, and he's seamlessly replaced Koulibaly, to be honest. He's been awesome, hasn't he?
Probably been better than Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has been. He has been.
Yeah.
I think, like, I love it when teams know when to sell their players. And how much did you guys?
This is the thing with Koulibaly is like it just felt like there was a reason, probably a reason
they
why
thought it was the
when they
time
had
now.
100 million, he had £100 million release clause and no one was paying it. And
Yeah.
it just felt like Chelsea in the
What was he,
position.
How old is he
we
now?
were in.
Is that
30?
31?
Yeah, it was like
It was like
33 million for. Yeah, he's 31. I
Yeah.
think.
So Napoli have done amazingly to just get rid of what it was 32 million. They bought Kim in for 12. So it's like a really good turnaround, and they were able to buy other players as well.
Got him and Kvaratskhelia with
Yeah,
the-
Kvaratskhelia, who's another great
Oh,
player.
he looks class, doesn't he?
Unbelievable right now. So yeah, I think Kim and Jay having a really good season for Napoli as well. Touch on Hwang Hee-jan playing for Wolves.
Wolves, yeah.
Does he play for Wolves though?
Well, with Wolves, they've got some sort of law that they can't really score goals.
Yeah.
They can't sign
Yeah.
anyone who puts the
Yeah,
ball in the
yeah,
net.
yeah.
It's sort of, everything's good up to a point.
Yeah.
That's sort of it.
Do you guys remember in the 2018 World Cup, that game between Germany and South Korea? That was so crazy. But one thing I don't understand is
I
that
don't remember.
it was the game when Germany...
Son scored right at the end.
Yeah, with
They-
an
they
open
beat
goal.
Germany.
My memory is actually so bad. I was trying to go back and thinking of like where the World Cups were held and like who's won them, and I was like, I can't even think.
But yeah, one thing I don't understand was, so South Korea were going to finish third in that group no matter what. Son scored an 89th minute goal to knock out Germany and took off his shirt. I don't understand why he did it. They were getting knocked out anyway, but he still celebrated like they were going through.
Are you the celebration police, remember?
No,
Are
I
you
don't-
a
I
proud member of
can't
the
get on
celebration
board with the
police?
celebration.
I'm not. I just didn't understand.
You've just scored a goal in a World Cup.
Listen, I
he
just
scored a
didn't
goal
Are you
in a
telling me that even if you
I just didn't understand.
He
imagine
scored-
saying
he
you
scored
could
a goal.
score, imagine like I know it probably wasn't.
Against
Against
the
Germany.
holders of the World
Listen,
Cup.
I just didn't know why he celebrated like that.
But even if your team was going out and you scored a goal in the World Cup for your country, you not celebrating? Of course you are.
Hey, I was just asking why he was celebrating like that. They were gonna finish third. Yeah, I know. Celebration police, get me. But yeah, if we were to look at the groups, this group from 4 to 1, how do you guys think of it? How do you guys rate it?
Number 1, Uruguay.
I said 4 to 1. You know.
Okay, reverse. 4-1. 4th, I'm going South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
3rd, Ghana. 2nd, Portugal. 1st, Uruguay.
I hate to say it, but that's exactly the same as mine.
I'm gonna switch Uruguay and Portugal. And maybe I don't know about Ghana, because Ghana they
Not sold.
got a new manager.
Not sold either.
But it'll be
Jordan Ayew can step up, maybe. Who knows?
But that rematch between Uruguay and Ghana, as you mentioned,
Is Luis Suarez going to play just for old time's sake?
I think he should.
I think he should as well.
I think you should save another.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Just to rub it in.
Where were you guys for that game? Because I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, you just said
I
you
can't
you
remember
just
what I
said-
did yesterday, let alone where I was for Uruguay Ghana 4
Yeah, I
years.
think I was at school. Or at secondary
What year
school.
was it?
2010.
2010.
It was a long
South
time.
Africa.
June.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
I've got no idea where I was. Or I can just remember him standing, how he was allowed to even stand on the side of the pitch and watch that penalty be saved.
But that is some footage.
And
seeing
sprinting
that.
down the tunnel, I was just like so angry.
A lot of people actually say Ghana were robbed. They weren't.
I think that is one of the most heroic things you could do for your country. I'm going to be real with you. What if that happens?
Sad you can't get away with it now.
If that happens in the final, Maguire needs to do.
Oh
that.
yeah, 100%.
I'd be
You're
gutted if he
taking
doesn't.
it, yeah.
Exactly.
Use your brain.
100%. And some people say Ghana are robbed because he handballed it, but that's football.
You should have scored the pen then,
Should've
Ghana.
scored
I mean,
the
I
penalty.
feel like they were robbed a little bit.
How though?
Because he's just handballed it on the line.
He didn't puncture the ball. Like, he hasn't sunk his teeth into that. It's just like, he saved it. He's done his job.
I felt so sorry for them. I just felt so bad.
It was
for
an
them.
African team at an Africa World Cup. Could have been the first African team to reach the semi-final of the World Cup. I was so sad.
I
was
just don't feel like
controversial.
Uruguay. I feel like Uruguay is they're not a likable team.
No, they're not.
I feel like most South American teams aren't.
They're the
likeable.
dark arts.
Yes, to be honest, like teams
Yeah,
that are
big
good at
time.
that, like if you're a fan of that team, it's amazing.
They're
There's certain players, aren't there, as well? In the
They've got an
Premier League
Atletico
players.
vibe.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
oh god, the biggest shithouse I've ever seen.
I love them though. Like Simeone should go to Uruguay.
I love them when they're playing everyone else.
Yeah,
apart from
yeah,
us.
true.
When we played
We're
them
right
last
against them,
season,
though.
I
We're
was
right.
just like, no.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Do you have like a controversial take for what this group is going to be? This is our Avid section.
Have it!
Like Sunday League left backs, no room for nonsense. Only Marmite.
These are our podcast's most outrageous takes without trying to be cancelled.
Ronaldo is going to do a Wolf of Wall Street. And by that I mean, whenever his tournament ends, whether that was in the group stage or in the knockout stage, the game will end. He'll be shaking his head, blaming everyone else, but he'll do a I'm not fucking leaving. Because
not
his
fucking
next
leaving.
club will be in Qatar. That is my prediction. I think that Ronaldo, after his interview, he's obviously leaving Manchester United in January. He is actually going home. This World Cup is going to be where he's playing from then on. So he won't actually be leaving this World Cup. He's going to be staying in Qatar.
You know what's crazy? I was thinking Ronaldo was going to go to Saudi.
Fair, similar
Yeah,
vibes
yeah.
then,
I was
fair.
thinking Ronaldo was
I
going to.
feel like that's where most people think he's going to go
Yeah,
for the
but-
dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. But like,
You'd do it, wouldn't you?
would I do it?
I'd do it tomorrow.
I'll be gone yesterday. What are you talking about? But yeah, nah. Moving to Saudi, I've heard a lot of good things. Al Hilal, they need a striker. Ronaldo, banging it in for Al Hilal.
We
Unbelievable.
played Al Hilal, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Club World Cup.
Mate, with Ronaldo, they're definitely beating us.
Absolutely. Or he's moving to the mighty Chelsea. One of the two.
That is, yeah, absolutely
It's
my
one of the
hot take. After the World Cup, Chelsea announced the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wouldn't that be
Do you know what?
Genuinely, that's like genuinely.
For everyone
that
else,
could
that is.
happen.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the funniest thing is like we're sat here like joking about it. No, it genuinely could happen.
There'll be about 3 good moments where you get, well, Reece will cross it and he'll bullet header it
Yeah.
in. And
Will
it
the
will
whole
look
stadium
quite good.
sue as
Once
well?
we get,
Oh, God.
no,
Or-
I'm not getting on board with it. I'm not getting. That's the one thing I'm not doing is getting on board with the sue. Absolutely
When
not.
we're in 8th place, just suing everywhere.
Running up to the shed and sue.
I can't even imagine it. Like thinking about how ridiculous, like
I
it
know.
actually is that we're talking about Ronaldo to Chelsea and that it actually could genuinely happen.
Yeah, I hope not. I really
would,
hope not.
I would love it. I think
Every
it's
other fan of every other
every other fan
club
base
would
is hoping we do that.
absolutely love it.
I think it would be box office. Watching him on Aubameyang try score, not get enough service.
Listen, when Reece James is back, don't you worry about that.
Listen, we are joined by a Chelsea TV employee right now. This is Chelsea till I die right here. Listen, anything mentioned about Chelsea is over the top right now. Hey,
It's basically like a Chelsea themed World Cup
Exactly.
podcast. It's been great. Really,
Blue lights
really,
on the
ideal
really
show.
enjoyed it.
blue lights as well, but we also have a section of the podcast that we like to call 20-second vision.
Oh, is your have it he's going to Qatar?
My have it was just vibes. I didn't really have one. I was just joining in.
This is the part where we predict a fixture's future with the imagination of De Bruyne and the precision of Heskey.
What will the future hold with 20-second vision?
Good.
All right, I'm going to speak about the future of Darwin Núñez in 20 seconds. My time starts in 3, 2, 1. Darwin Núñez is going to win the top scorer at this tournament, or the second top scorer. I think with the chaos that he provides defenses,
Sorry.
with the chaos that he provides against defenses, he is going to cause havoc to every team that he faces. Maybe even havoc towards Uruguay as well. He'll cause havoc to himself. He'll cause havoc to Liverpool. And Darwin Núñez is the future of the generation of football. There we go.
The future of football.
Future.
That is bold.
Ah.
I like it.
Sometimes my mind just goes on a wander.
You set it up well. I love
Yeah.
asking questions to yourself.
Sometimes you have to improvise. All right, Toby. You have 20 seconds to tell us what is going to happen in that Portugal versus Uruguay game. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, it's gonna be a bad ending for a former Real Madrid player, but a great game for a current one. And Valverde is gonna score an absolute screamer against Portugal. And Ronaldo, he's gonna start crying his eyes out. He's gonna get off the pitch. He's gonna start doing interviews. Everyone's confused because they're thinking, God, you just did one. You went one with Piers. What are you doing now? And he's gonna keep going. He's gonna go in at his Portuguese players, saying, I don't want to play for this country anymore. I want to play for a different country. But obviously, no one can take him. So
Oh, that.
there you go. He's gonna lose his mind at this World Cup.
What, you ask if Ronaldo to go play for like England or something or
Yeah,
Spain?
he's like, I want to go play for some winners. I'll play
Yeah,
for a proper
okay.
team. And that, none of them really want him. You know, it's a sad ending for one of the best players that there's been.
All right, Liv. You got.
Valverde is Uruguayan, isn't he?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
You got 20 seconds
Yep.
to tell us what is going to happen in the infamous rematch of Ghana against Uruguay. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
The same is going to happen. What happened in 2010, Luis Suarez is going to start purely just a shithouse Ghana, and it's going to happen. They're going to be. I'm going to go with Jordan Ayew, who's going to have a shot that Luis Suarez is going to save on the line handball, but he's not going to get away with it this time because there's VAR, and Ghana are going to score the penalty, and they're going to knock Uruguay out of the World Cup. I don't actually think. Oh,
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. It's controversial.
controversial, but
Plus, you'll get some comments going, but you said they
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Hypocrisy on the show really
Like
works.
that. Yeah, it does
Hypocrisy
well.
on the show really works. But yeah, that is Group H. We've analysed every single World Cup group from A to H. What do you guys think about it? Is the World Cup starts in under a week?
I just can't believe that the World Cup starting. Like, it doesn't feel like I know it's not a normal World Cup, but just I feel like it's going to take me maybe until like England play against Iran on Monday. That's going to be where I get into it like big time.
Well, I feel like this tiny break we had has now just been consumed by this Ronaldo interview, like in terms of the football space and what's going on.
No, it's almost like people have not forgotten, but because we've got this whole interview to react to after it comes out in full, by that time the World Cup's going to be like a day away.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, I'm so excited. Best believe I'm going to watch every single game. If I'm sat at home, I'll be watching all 4 games a day. But it just doesn't feel like a World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this World Cup has the potential to be the best one ever or the worst one ever.
What, like it could have a really obscure winner just because it's so cramped.
It's just so crazy. Like Doha itself as a city is so small. And if you're having all of the fans from all over the world come in, I think there might be something crazy going on. Maybe off the pitch, on the pitch. I just think it's going to be the best or it's going to be the worst because this is the first Winter World Cup, so we deal with extremes here. And I think
I would quite like it to be the first and last.
I agree. But yeah, I just think this World Cup, I think the
Something
best.
mad's going to happen.
I don't know what that mad thing is going to be like.
Maybe the GOAT getting his
Oh,
correct ceremony.
I literally would do anything to have Messi win the World Cup.
Wow,
Okay, guys.
we got 2 proud English people on this show, and they want Messi to win.
No,
Look,
no,
if
no,
England-
no,
Well,
no,
look
no,
at
no,
what
no,
we're
no,
doing.
No. Let me rephrase that. Obviously, I want England to win the World Cup. However, the chances of that happening, not sure of that. Well, actually, after the Euros, we've always got it in us. However, if England don't win the World Cup, I would love nothing more than Lionel Messi to bow out with the. I just can't. It gets me excited thinking about it.
I'll be real with you. If England play Argentina,
I
I'm not going to lie, I would find it hard to know where I'd sit. I'm not saying I wouldn't sit with England.
that is ridiculous.
Hey, look, I'm.
Like, I love Messi. Every single person that knows me knows how much
I'll be
love
real with you. I don't know where I'd sit. I'd like to think I'd
It's
support
almost
England.
it's like a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if England win, you're buzzing. But if Argentina are then going to go on to the final or whatever, then you're also sort of buzzing inside.
So Messi scores against England. What's your reaction going to be?
What's the score?
No, do you know what it is?
What's the
I'm in a
score?
pub.
He makes it 2-1.
To them?
yeah.
Oh, no, I'm fuming.
I'm in a
Okay.
I'm in
I
a
love
pub
it,
and
I'm fuming.
I'm just sort of going, fucking get in. Like, one of them ones.
Just whack
Oh no!
underneath your England shirt, your Argentina shirt.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't believe it! Come on, no! That's how you're gonna be said.
I'll be crying and have pure joy. And everyone's
Yeah.
going, you're right, you're right. I'm like, yeah, just great, isn't it?
So happy.
But yeah, if you guys have like one winner for this World Cup, because this is our last podcast.
Okay, head or heart? Because my head and my heart tell me two completely different things.
Okay, go on.
So my heart is obviously telling me England.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously my heart's telling me England. My head is telling me, sadly, because I want Messi to win it so badly, but my head's telling me Brazil.
That's a good answer. What about you?
Mine's also Brazil.
Okay.
Their team is just absolutely ridiculous.
I just think Neymar's going to be the guy this World Cup.
Aside from England,
I'd love Thiago Silva to win a World Cup.
it would be good.
I just, yeah.
Aside from England, I'm back in my second team because everyone has a second team. If we're speaking about this, it's going to be Spain.
I hope my second
I
team
think they're
England are
quite dark
alright.
horses.
Yep.
Like, obviously they, back in the day, winning back-to-back Euros and the World Cup in between was unbelievable. But now no one's talking about Spain. No one.
I'll tell you who it is, Luis Enrique on his Twitch.
Oh my God, I saw
How cool
that.
was that?
Unbelievable.
I love that.
So cool.
Unbelievable.
I think if you're like, and I'm now taking Spanish lessons on Duolingo. So Duolingo, if you want to sponsor us, it'll be greatly appreciated. But look, I think this is the way the future is going to go in terms of like content. Because do you remember when I think it was Potter and Frank, they were speaking to each other on Sky Sports and they were asking each other questions and they're really giving us an insight into the way they were thinking.
Yeah, on Amazon Prime,
Exactly,
wasn't it?
or
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. And then I think Luis Enrique is going like one step further to really explain the tactics of what he saw that game. I think it's great content to have.
Yeah, and he was even making a little joke at the end of saying, my light's not very good, my mic's not great, but I'm going to improve. And I was thinking, like, this is just surreal. Like, you're a
weird, isn't it?
streamer.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. And
It's cool.
Imagine seeing like in the future, we're going to be seeing Pep on Twitch.
Oh, gaming, mate.
Can you imagine?
No.
Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp on Twitch together.
Yeah, playing Fortnite. Crazy.
Mourinho would be a good streamer.
Yes,
Oh,
he'd
he
be
would
Mourinho would
be.
be great. Or Conte, he'd go nuts.
But
Both of
this
them
is the way
together.
content is going. I think like the fourth wall is being broken before our very eyes. And I think the way that the future's going, we should have more managers streaming.
Yeah, I when I heard it as an idea, because he was talking about the idea of it and everything, I thought that's a really cool way to connect to your fans, be so direct, and literally talk through how the tournament's going as it's going. I thought it was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
that was the final episode in which we'll be covering the groups. We're now moving on to live podcasts that are during the World Cup. We got our first, whenever we got our first one then.
on the 24th.
Live podcast. That's going to be carnage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, going to get João Cancelo'd on there. On the regular.
Exactly. So at the end of every game week, match day, at the end of every round of games, we're going to be streaming live for you guys on YouTube. And we've had a lot of fun streaming or recording this for you guys. And we've also had a lot of fun provided by our guest today, Liv. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me. I've had a right laugh. I've had a right laugh turning this World Cup podcast into a Chelsea World Cup podcast.
Love
It's
it.
been great.
Up the Chelsea.
It's a problem
Up
when
the
you have
Chelsea.
two.
No,
It's a
up
problem
the
when you have
Chelsea.
two Chelsea fans on the show.
I'm a Chelsea fan today as well.
Three.
Exactly. So yeah, I've been Rimedi.
Over Toby.
I'm Liv.
Thank you guys for watching and we'll catch you very soon for our next episode. Take care.
In a bit.